Hi everyone, welcome back to Music 119. We're going to get into Module 4C today, and the topic is from one note to another, mapping intervals in both directions. So we're going to learn how to write an interval above or below a given note. And previously, what we did was we're given two notes, like two random notes, and you learned how to write the exact quality and distance, right? The both parts of the interval, and I think that was actually quite fun. So let's see if we can do the reverse this time. You're given a note, you're given the interval, and you have to write the second note. So let's get started. Now let's look at the very first example here. We have a C. And notice that we are in bass clef. Okay, so bass clef, all cows eat grass. Remember, all cows eat grass. So this is a C. We have a C. Now, we want a seventh up. We don't have to care about the quality yet. So that means from C, you got to count up 7 letter names. So starting with C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That note up here, that's going to be a seventh. And now, based on what we know, a major seventh has 11 half steps. Okay, so let's see if we start from C and count up 11 half steps. Do we get to B? So from C, 11 half steps up, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Guess what? 11. So this is a major seventh. Good. Moving on. Let me delete the writings. Next we have a major second. That's what we want. And what we are given is the D note here. So from D, a second up is going to be what? D, E, 1, 2. So the next note is going to be E. And I'm just going to write it right here. Okay, and then, okay, so D and E. So a major second, based on what we know from the chart, major second has 2 half steps. So let's see, if we take D and E, from D to D sharp is 1 half steps, 2 half steps. Okay, you got lucky. D and E, so what you already have here, that's a major second. Good, moving on. So next we have this note, which is a B, and then we want a third up. So from B, a third up is going to be B, C, D, right? 1, 2, 3, B, C, D. So it's going to be here. This is a third up. So we have B, we have some sort of D. I don't even know if it's correct yet. We have to check with the piano. So let's start looking at the chart. So a major third would have 4 half steps. Okay, let's see if this is correct. So from B, which is here, to, well, from B, we're trying to count up 4 half steps, right? So count up 4 half steps. So from B, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, remember, because it says it's and the interval of a third, we are restricted to only use B and D. So in this case, we're going to pick D sharp and not E flat. So the final answer is going to be B and D sharp. And it sounds like major third. Major third has to be my favorite interval just because it sounds really happy in a sense. Okay, so moving on. The next one is going to be a B flat. We have a B flat. So from a B flat, a fourth up is going to be B, C, D, E. So the next note has to be some kind of E. We don't know what it is yet, but we're just going to put the note head down first. It could be just E natural, could be E sharp, could be E flat, E double flat. We don't know. So from here, let's first well we can first use the interval chart. So a perfect fourth is going to be 5 half steps. So let's see. Um, if we count from a B flat, if we start from a B flat, and then we count up 5 half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do we have? We have the option of D sharp or E flat. Now we have to use E, so it's going to be E flat. That's a perfect fourth. B flat to E flat. Doesn't it sound really calming to you? Okay, anyways, let's go on to the fourth one, which is, oh, we have an A double sharp. Okay, don't be scared, all right? It looks scary, but it's not scary. From A double sharp, we have to count up, um, well, 2. So from A to B. 1, 2, A, B. So the next note is definitely going to be some kind of B. We don't know yet. Now, what we do know is major second has 2 half steps. And that's what we're looking for here, major second, right? So if we take A double sharp, which is actually going to be here, A double sharp. If we count up 2 half steps, it's going to be from here. This is 1, 2. So which note do we take? Do we take a C or a D? Well, the answer is no. None of those. Because from A, the next letter name is actually B. So we have to spell this note right here, using B. So from B, if we move up 2 half steps, right? From B, let me write with this color, B. If we add a half step, it's going to be B sharp. And then another one is going to be B double sharp. So from here, we have to say this is a B double sharp. Okay, we have to spell that note in terms of B. So you will see these some of these exercises are actually a little tricky. So please make sure you spell them correctly. Now let's look at the very last example. We have a C sharp and a major 6. C sharp and a major 6. All right, so starting from C sharp. Oh, sorry, I did not delete everything, but I guess it's okay. I think it's not that messy. So from C sharp, a 6 up is going to be what? C, D, E, F, G, A. It's going to be A, some kind of A. I don't know what kind, right? So if we look at the interval chart, a major 6 is going to be 9 half steps. So what you have to do is just you start from a C sharp, like here, C sharp, you count up 9 half steps. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what do we choose? Well, we have an A, right? It has to be some kind of A, so we're going to pick A sharp. A sharp. C sharp to A sharp. That's a major 6. Well, I'm realizing one thing. The examples that I picked, these don't really have those diminished or augmented stuff. So maybe we should try. Maybe let me just delete all of this, and then let's try, an augmented and a diminished. All right, coming back, let's do, instead of a major third, instead of that, let's do a diminished third. And then instead of a perfect fourth, let's do an augmented fourth. And let's see if that works. So starting from this first one, we have a B right here. And from B, three, three letter names up is going to be B, C, D. The next one is going to be some kind of D. Okay, now we go to the interval chart. What we do know is a major third has 4 half steps. A major third has 4 half steps. And what about a diminished third? Well, from major third, you take away 1 half step, another half step, we're going to get a diminished. So this is going to be 2 half steps, right? Because we have a minor third in between that would have a 3 half steps. Is that clear? This is very important for you to understand, okay? So all we have to do now is we take the first note, which is B right here. And from there, we just count up 2 half steps. 1, 2. So it's going to be this note right here that we have to spell in terms of D. So this has to be some kind of D, which, let's see. Oh, D flat. Sorry, I had a little brain freeze. So it's B and D flat. Good. So B and D flat, which actually sounds like a major second, but is actually also a diminished third. Now, going to the next example, we have a B flat, and we want to find an augmented fourth above that note. So from here, the first thing you have to do is, of course, what? The first thing you have to do is, of course, to count the letter names. So from B flat, 4 notes up, B, C, D, E. That's going to be the first thing, E. It's going to be some kind of E. We don't know yet, but it's some kind of E. So from here, what we do know, if it's a fourth, a perfect fourth would have 5 half steps. What about an augmented fourth? Well, augmented means we are adding 1 half step, right? So if P4, perfect fourth has 5 half steps, then an augmented fourth has 6 half steps. So all we have to do is just to count 6 steps up. So let's start from a B flat, which is, well, let's use a different color. So from B flat right here, 6 half steps up is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so do we have what we need? E. Well, you got lucky because that's already what we have. So from B flat to E, that's an augmented fourth. So this is correct. All right, moving on. All right, now we're going to look at examples for interval below a given note. So here we have a C, because we're back to treble clef. So from C, we just have to count down 7 letter names. So let's write them out because counting backwards is a little hard. So from C, it's going to be B, A, G, F, E, and then D, and then C, right? So 7 notes down is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has to be some kind of D. Good. So a major 7, what we know about major 7 is that there are 11 half steps. So all we have to do is to start from C, count down 11 half steps, and spell it in terms of D, and then we'll get our answer. So starting from C, which is here, we count down 11 half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We just have to spell it in terms of D, which is D flat. D flat. C, D flat. D flat going to C. That's a major 7th. Good. Moving on, we have a D here. But before that, let me erase all of my writing so that it's not confusing. Okay, so for the first one, it's going to be C and D flat. And then we have a D here. Well, a perfect 5th down. If it's a 5th down, we have to count down 5 letter names. So from D, well, you can also just look at the piano. That's a lot easier. From D, you count down 5. So D, C, B, A, G. That would be some kind of G. Not exactly G natural, but, you know, it will be some kind of G. So D to G. Good. A perfect 5th means that we need 7 half steps in between. So let's count from the given note D. Let's count down 7 half steps. 7 half steps. 1, 2, 3, oh, yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's what we get. G. So G to D. That's a perfect fifth. All right, now let me erase all of these one more time and give you the answer. Good. Next, we're looking at a B and a major third below. So if we start from a B, which is here, if you count down 3 letter names, B, A, G. It's going to be some kind of G here. All right, good. Now, what we know is major third has 4 half steps. And again, we just have to start from the given note, count down 4 half steps, and whatever note we get, we spell it in terms of G. So let's start from B, which is here. 4 half steps down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, once again, you got lucky. This is already the answer. We have a G and then a B. That's the interval of a third. And specifically a major third. Okay, good. Now, moving on, we have, let me just finish writing the answer again. We have a minor second. So the first thing we have to do is just to write the second out first. So what we have is E, and a second down is going to be E, D. 1, 2, right? 2 letter names. So E, D. It has to be some kind of D. Good. So what we know about the interval of a second is that we do know a major second has 2 half steps. So that means a minor second would have how many half steps? Instead of 2, would have 1, right? So 1 half steps down. So all you have to do is to start counting from E, right here, count down 1 half step, which gets you to this note, and you have to spell it in terms of D. So instead of E flat, we are going to pick D sharp. So D sharp is the answer. So a minor second would sound like, it's really crunchy and dissonant, right? Okay, moving on, and look at the next one while I'm erasing all of my traces. And now we have what is it? We have a G flat. This is a G flat. So the first thing we have to do is to take the 5 seriously. So from G, 5 notes down, 5 letter names down, including the G. It's going to be G, F, E, D, C. It will be some kind of C. So let's write that down first so that we don't forget. Some kind of C. Good. A diminished fifth. Well, do we know how many half steps there are in a diminished fifth? What we do know is a perfect fifth has 7 half steps. So a perfect fifth coming down, 1 half step is going to be 6 half steps, and that will give us the diminished fifth. So diminished fifth, D5, would need 6 half steps. Okay, so all we have to do once again is just to start from the G flat, which is here, and count down 6 half steps from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I think you got lucky again, because what we already found, G flat to C, that's already the answer. So that is the interval of a diminished fifth. Okay, let's look at one last one. This one is a bit weird. So every time you see a unison, be prepared, it's going to be weird. It's not really practical. So it's really largely theoretical, but it's good to know. It's good to be 100% clear on this subject. So the note that we have here, and once again, I must delete all of my traces so that's not confusing for you for the next one. Okay, so this one has G flat and C natural. Good, the next one is F sharp. The next one is F sharp. Well, if we know that this is unison, okay, if we know that this is unison, it's just the same note. It's still going to be F, some kind of F. I don't know what it is. So Now let's see. Augmented unison. What we do know is a perfect unison has 0 half steps. So this has 0 half step. Augmented would be 1 half step because we're adding 1, right? So 1 half step. Augmented unison is going to be 1 half step. All you have to do is to start from the given note, which is F sharp, and count down 1 half step, which would be right here, which is this note. Well, we can't really call it F because we are restricted by the number, right? The distance, which is 1. So it has to be spelled in terms of F. So, well, actually, I made a mistake. I somehow thought this we're talking about E. So actually, you're right. It is F. F is the correct answer. I was thinking, oh, would it be E sharp? But then that would actually be wrong. So let me just walk you through it one more time. So we are starting to count from F sharp to the next note down, which the next half step down, which gets us to F. And we're looking at an augmented unison, so it has to be F, right? The same note. So in this case, it's going to be F, and then F sharp. Good. Normally, I would go back and re-record if I make a mistake, but I think it's also good for you guys to see that, these things, everyone can make mistakes, and it's okay to see somebody make mistakes, because then you feel like, okay, it's not so big of a deal when that happens to you. But please be, as careful as possible, especially dealing with these intervals. And music in general is a very, very precise language. So, an extra stroke, an extra dot on the music sheet is going to mean something completely different. So, on that note, I hope you have a great rest of your week. Take care, everyone. I will see you in the next lecture.